The news at 9 on North Mississippi CW4 starts now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight at 9. Vandals target a local school. Now a former Houston high school student behind bars accused of setting a fire and burglarizing Houston High School. Well, crews were called to the school just before 2:30 after a smoke alarm went off. Police say that several windows and technology equipment was destroyed. 20-year-old Patrick Nichols is charged with arson, burglary, and felony mischief. The school superintendent says that he's upset that this happened, but he's thankful for those who are helping to clean up.
You don't prepare specifically for an incident like this. You hope they don't happen. I just appreciate everybody jumping in and doing what they've done. I mean, it's at 2:30 this morning when I got here, I thought, wow, we'll be a week out of school. But these guys have done an amazing job.
Police say that Nichols could face more charges. As for school, it's set to open back up on Monday. Tupelo police need your help finding a missing teen. This here is a picture of Brookley Armstrong. Well, she was last seen March 12th on Rachel Street in Tupelo. Well, Brookley was seen wearing gray Nike shoes, a white Nike shorts, and a blue Tupelo band hoodie. Now, if you know anything about her whereabouts, you're asked to call 911. Here in Columbus, we're learning more about a brawl outside a convenience store earlier this week. Chief Fred Shelton says that 2 men have been arrested. 25-year-old DeMonte Harris, he's charged with possession of cocaine, and 32-year-old Cortez Shield is facing a weapon possession charge. Well, early Wednesday morning, police were called to this Sprint Mart on 45 North. Police say there was a large fight that stemmed from an argument from a shooting that happened that morning in the 400 block of 15th Avenue South. CPD is still investigating whether another shooting on 21st Street North is connected with these two incidents. A traffic stop, a big narcotics find, and one man on the run. Well, it sounds more like a scene out of a movie, but it was real on CC Line Road in Clay County. Brandon Thompson and William Morrow, they're both behind bars after deputies found 30 grams of cocaine along with Adderall, Xanax, and hydrocodone. The deputies say that Thompson was trying to distract them while Morrow and another suspect ran. Well, Morrow was caught after a bit of a wrestling match with the deputy, while the other suspect did get away. Officials say that the deputy suffered minor injuries and will be okay. New at 9, a bill at the state capitol is aiming to help out foster families. House Bill 1566 creates new tax breaks, but also doubles existing ones. Both ways help foster children and families. Our Courtney Ann Jackson explains.
House Bill 1566 would pave a new way to help foster families and children in Mississippi.
Everybody can do something. And that's what we're asking everybody to really think about here, is here's an opportunity for everyone. Those who may not be able to bring someone into their home, may not be able to adopt a child, they can give some money to an organization that promotes that to go a long way in addressing this issue.
The new tax credit would be for people who donate to charities that serve foster kids.
Would get to $1 for dollar up to $1,000 credit towards their state taxes.
This is a model that's been successful in Arizona, where they've also struggled with their foster care system. They have a $1 for dollar tax credit system that supports the foster children.
Some of the services that nonprofits can offer would be, for instance, if you get a child in foster care, you might need a bed right away. You're going to need a backpack. You're going to need school supplies. You're going to need clothing. You're going to need food. And so this is a way that nonprofits can step in and assist these families to provide assistance to foster care kids.
Another aspect of the legislation would double tax credits for families who are adopting, including those who are fostering to adopt. It would go from $2,500 to $5,000.
It's going to help more middle-class families adopt. It's going to help more middle-class families help kids in foster care who are longing to be adopted. For families that really are longing to adopt, that have it in their hearts to adopt, that little bit of extra money can help.
The governor created a Faith and Community Partnerships Advisory Council that's been advocating for this legislation.
There are thousands of churches of all denominations across this great state. And if one family in each church would make it a priority to be a part of the solution, we could solve the foster care crisis in Mississippi.
That was Courtney Ann Jackson reporting. This bill is now in conference, and House and Senate members will try to hammer out a compromise before final passage. Well, time now to get a first look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, it's Friday, but a bit of a rainy start to it.
It's been wet and dreary today. Our Alpha Insurance time lapse shows the clouds and the showers moving down through the Columbus area. Those showers really have tapered off for the time being. We've got steady temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s across our region. Not a lot of rain, just a little bit of light showers, perhaps from Tupelo up towards the Tennessee state line. Can't rule out an isolated shower or two, maybe a storm later tonight, but most of the action is to our north and to our south. We will start out with a lot of cloud cover on Saturday in the 60s, but I think we will thin out some of those clouds and get back to around 80. A warm day for us, but storms lurk for the end of the weekend. More in just a few minutes.
Well, it's been a hot topic the last couple of days. Chris McDaniel changing his campaign plans. He was originally running against this man, Senator Roger Wicker. Well, Senator Wicker was in New Albany today, and we wanted to hear his thoughts on this announcement. Senator Wicker says that so far, McDaniel has not filed paperwork to switch races, so his campaign is going forward as planned. McDaniel plans to seek the election for Thad Cochran's soon-to-be open seat. You may remember McDaniel lost against Cochran back in 2014, something that might haunt McDaniel, according to Senator Wicker.
I think questions will be asked about that, and as I go around the state, people do mention the fact that the aftermath of the election 4 years ago was such a turnoff.
Well, Wicker also faces Republican Richard Boyenton in the June primary. Well, a busy weekend in Starkville with the NCAA tournament on top of tennis and baseball action. Our Quentin Smith joins us live in the studio with more on the exciting weekend. Hey, Quentin.
Yes, Scott. Stark Vegas is a popular destination for many this weekend. Fans from near and far trucking into town. And the city is excited to cash in on the visitors, taking in all of the sights. This weekend is an exciting time to be a Bulldog. 3 teams are in action, thousands of fans are in town, and many would call it a dream weekend for those who love their maroon and white.
It's good to know that the university's growing and that the fan base is growing and that our programs are growing and that we're competing well.
John Walker is a huge MSU fan and says the thing he's most excited about this weekend is watching the women's team play in the NCAA tournament.
I mean, the excitement of having a chance maybe of winning and making it to winning the national championship.
But while he's excited for some hoops, others have their attention set on the baseball diamond this weekend.
You know, as a former athlete, a baseball athlete myself, you know, a top 20 matchup like Mississippi State and Vanderbilt, you know, it's a classic, especially here at the New Dude. So really excited about that.
However, with fans split between their favorite teams to watch this weekend, one thing remains certain. The busy weekend makes for a big economic boost for local businesses.
It's just like being in a much bigger city. You know, in a store our size, it'll be people all over the place. And, you know, we'll be running from here to there trying to help people and make sure they can find what they're looking for.
Sports Center store manager Bobby Craig says they've been preparing for this big rush well in advance. He's bringing in extra staff and making sure everything is well stocked.
Starkville tends to be a hub, and if you're not prepared, you're not going to be able to provide good service.
I love the chaos. I love the chaos. I like it being busy.
Melissa Shoemake is the assistant general manager at the Hilton Garden Inn. She says they're also reaping the benefits from the busy weekend. Not only are they all booked up, but 3 of the opposing teams are staying at the hotel for the next few days.
You know, it's one of those things we really need, actually, because, I think this town kind of depends on that. It depends on things like this coming in for us.
Now, for a full list of the schedules and times that all 3 MSU teams will be playing this weekend, just visit our website at WCBI.com. Scott?
Well, if you like yoga, you might want to listen to this. Studios turning up the heat to boost your health. We'll explain next. Welcome back, everyone. It's the hottest new trend in hot yoga. Some yoga studios are using infrared, I think I said that wrong, a heating system to warm their classes. And as Chris Martinez explains, the technology could help boost your health.
At Sync Yoga and Cycle, instructor Alyssa Mann is turning up the heat in a new way.
It's like doing yoga in the sun.
This is infrared heated yoga, a class that uses infrared technology to warm the room. Mann says the advanced method is more beneficial to the body than conventional heat.
It's amazing for your skin. It increases metabolism by raising the core temperature, and it just feels a lot better.
Research also suggests infrared heating may boost your immune system, reduce inflammation, and help lower blood pressure.
So utilize this time.
Most traditional hot yoga classes use blower systems to force hot air into the room, which can spread dust and allergens and make the air dense. Infrared heat is generated from these panels, providing a sun-like warmth to the body itself rather than the air around it, and can gradually raise a room's temperature to more than 100 degrees.
It's a completely different ball game.
Student Erica Meyer says she finds the infrared warmth more tolerable.
It's warm and cozy, and you already come into it feeling like you can go deeper into a practice.
At Sync, the infrared class has become one of the most popular.
This infrared kind of takes it up a notch. Namaste.
A different, healthier way to feel the burn. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Glendale, California.
Infrared technology has long been used by hospitals and medical treatment centers for years to warm premature babies and help care for wounds and injuries. Well, still ahead, an Arkansas woman is saying thank you to officers here in North Mississippi, what they did that has her calling them her heroes. Stay with us.
Prescription Health is brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle. Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Good to see you on our Friday evening. Here's our Alpha Insurance time lapse from downtown Tupelo today. The clouds moving on through. More clouds today than the last several. We've had some showers out there, all quiet. Now, as we get into Sunday afternoon, really Sunday evening though, and Sunday night, we are going to be on the outlook for some strong to severe storms across the region. And then we may see some redevelopment by early Monday afternoon, a little bit farther to the east. Now, both of those areas of concern encompass parts of our coverage area. So we are obviously tuned to see what's coming down the pike, and you can see that big area of low pressure swirling in Northern California. It's a long ways away from us right now, but that is going to be the energy that could give rise to some of those storms. So something to look ahead towards at the end of the weekend. In the near term, we're looking fairly good. Temperatures have actually moderated a little bit more this evening, back to around 60 in Columbus and Tupelo. We will be basically holding steady all night long. A strong southerly breeze is about 10 to 15 miles per hour, bringing in some moisture. And over the next 24 hours in the Tupelo area, holding steady around 60 all night long. And then look at that, we zoom up to around 80 tomorrow afternoon. It is going to be a warm day. We're forecasting 80. The all-time warmest St. Patrick's Day in Columbus and Tupelo back in 2012, mid-80s, Starkville 87 in 1908. So it will be warm, probably not that warm. The higher rain chances on Saturday closer to the coast. Now we will start out with a lot of cloud cover around here, gradually breaking up some of those clouds to see some sunshine. We are scheduled to program weather radios in Louisville Monday at Walgreens 3 to 5. That is subject to weather. Columbus, we will be programming weather Tuesday of next week 4 to 6 at Kroger. That is going to remain on schedule because we will have no weather worries on Tuesday. But there are the clouds Saturday morning. As we get into the afternoon, a lot of those will tend to go away. So it should be a pretty warm day once that sun pops. By Saturday afternoon, rain and storms start to march on in. Now, as this warm front moves on through Sunday night, that will give us a chance for some of those stronger storms. And then right along that cold front right there, Monday afternoon, that's where we may get that secondary batch of strong storms. Behind it, cooler air wraps on in starting Tuesday, and it looks like our highs fall back into the 50s for the middle of next week, Scott, just as spring begins, and lows fall back into the 30s as well.
All right, thank you very much, Keith. Okay, take a look at this face here. This is Bacon. He belongs to a woman in Bentonville, Arkansas. She was traveling to Atlanta. She stopped in Fulton to walk her 3 dogs, and Curious Bacon here, he took off after a squirrel, but Etowah County deputies and Fulton police, they weren't too far away. The officers helped her catch Bacon, and she took to social media just raving about our North Mississippi officers, calling them her heroes. I talked to Bacon's owner earlier, and she said, quote, "Those guys rocked." Happy ending to that story there. All right, well, also tonight we introduce you to a dazzling atmospheric phenomenon named Steve. That's right, its name is Steve. Here's Jeremy Roth with Take a Look at This.
A group of citizen scientists made a super cool discovery in the skies over Canada. They spotted a new type of aurora. Scientists confirmed the find, and then they named it Steve. Steve actually stands for Strong Thermal Emission Velocity Enhancement. What makes it special is that it occurs at much lower latitudes than most of the northern lights. It's characterized as a distinct purple band with a green picket fence-like accent. Now, NASA-funded project called Aurorasaurus is asking skywatchers to help in reporting Steve's spottings. They're hoping the more info they gather, the more they'll get to know Steve. Okay, there are just too many cute animal stories today, so here are just a couple. Santa Barbara Zoo welcomed the birth of a new giraffe calf, and early to boot. She wasn't expected until next month, but zoo staff says mom and baby are bonding and doing well. The zoo is hosting a public contest to name the calf. So far, the names in the running include Amira, Makina, Quentin, and Nugget. The LA Zoo debuted a new mob of meerkats, and with those meerkats, they're hoping to make more meerkats. After working with a breeding group, the zoo is now home to 3 new females and 4 males. According to the zoo, they are getting along with one another. Also, they are adorable and jittery, and I want one. I mean, they can stand on tippy toes for crying out loud. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
I'll take one of each. Yeah. All right. Well, the journey back to the Final Four begins for Mississippi State in less than 24 hours. More on tourney preps next in sports.
What? Oh, my folder. Oh.
Here's sports with Tom Ebel.
The road to Columbus begins tomorrow for Hale State hoops. The stakes have never been higher in Starkville. The Bulldogs will look to get back to the Final Four in its first time as a 1 seed. Mississippi State getting back to work preparing for Nicholls State. It's been 13 days since the SEC Tournament Championship against South Carolina, which just felt like an eternity for MSU. And head coach Vic Schaefer, he's tired of sitting around waiting for tip-off.
I just think they're ready to play. I know I am. These 2 weeks are just awful. I mean, last year it worked to our advantage, but I'm going to say 19 times out of 20, I'm ready to play. If you've lost, you're ready to get that out of your mind, you know, that taste out of your mouth. If you won, you want to keep playing. So this is something that I bring up every year in our meetings, and I don't get anywhere with it, but it's just hard.
Just one game. Don't take anything for granted. Don't take anyone lightly. You know, you got to go out there, play hard, give it your all. You don't want to walk out the court and regret something that you didn't do. So we're just going to give it all every game.
A busy day in Starkville as the NCAA tournament tips off. Actually, tonight, if you're able to catch some scores, South Carolina was able to beat a 15 seed by, I think, 9 points. So you never know who's going to come to play or what's going to happen if the ball's going to roll your way. But in Starkville tomorrow at 2:35, Oklahoma State taking on Syracuse. The winner of that game will advance to play the winner of Nicholls State versus Mississippi State. That game's at 5 p.m. unless Oklahoma State and Syracuse decide to go 3 overtimes, then the game could be later. So Mississippi State will be playing after those 2 games. We'll have much more coming up tomorrow right here on WCBI Sports. A last look at your forecast is next.
WCBI sports coverage of MSU women's basketball is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center, advanced medicine, compassionate care, and visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
Love is in the air here at WCBI. Two of our very own, they've put a ring on it. Just this evening, our technical director, Shane Reese, he proposed, you see here, to his girlfriend, Sophia Parham. Is that how to say it? I know you guys know her. I just met her today. Parham, okay.
Yes.
The cameras caught the happy moment. Happy, happy, happy. We love it. Congratulations. But wait, that isn't all.
Oh my God.
Sports anchor Tom Ebel, he popped the question too.
Get me out of here.
Yes. Here's a few pictures of their engagement earlier this week. His fiancee Amanda, one of my friends. I've got to catch up with her. I need to hear about this proposal. I haven't heard yet about it.
Well,
But
we'll hear plenty of it coming up after this, huh, Scott?
Congratulations.
This was great TV for the last 30 seconds.
Love it.
There's no last look either. See ya.
No.